think I'm both incredibly productive and incredibly lazy. As we sit here, there's like 2 more long MVA videos that need to go up. There's 5 videos from my personal YouTube that need motion graphics added to them before they're done. Then there's a pile of stuff that needs captions to go up on Instagram. And then there's like an episode of the radio show that's uploading to YouTube right now, another one that's being edited, and then there is a Halifax song that was supposed to come out March 13th or something, but I just forgot. So it's like sitting on Bandcamp in draft mode. I'm wearing a Halifax shirt that I ordered a sample of. It looks great, I'm happy, but I haven't put it up for sale yet. Just this massive pile of stuff. Like I get a lot of shit done for someone who watches a lot of TV. But one of the contradictions is that I just don't think I have a lot of rules governing anything I do. The idea of posting these on YouTube as a radio show it's not like I wanted to make a radio show. It was more like, I'm doing this, sometimes there's not that many questions, but there's people on, I need something to do. So then I was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'll play records. I recorded them thinking I'll take the chunks between the records and those will be videos. Those might work as videos. And then it turned out, listen to the full recording and be like, you can kind of hear the records and they don't sound bad. There's so many levels to this where that is wrong. Like, this is the setup. Cheap shit record player into one of those JBL things, recorded to an iPhone. No microphone, no line in, no cords, no nothing. Everything about this is bad and wrong according to like a whole bunch of rules, but the reality is that it works. The reality is that it's good enough and it's set up in a way that makes my life very easy. I never did a test, like, oh, will this work or whatever. I just make stuff and then I figure out from what I've made, what do I feel like adjusting? What don't I like? What do I like? So on and so forth. I realized it's highly irritating that I was constantly taking the needle off records. So I kind of like figured that out. But I don't feel bad about that because like you're supposed to play the record. I just feel bad about it because I listened to it and I was like, oh, I wanted to hear the rest of the song. I think that in everything I do, it's not breaking the rules on purpose. I've just decided that everyone's rules, they can apply to everyone else. They don't apply to me. And because of that, one, I'm super productive. But if I wasn't happy with it, then it wouldn't matter if I was super productive. But the thing is that for however long, I was not creatively gratified. I was a miserable human being because I was trying to do this stuff. I was trying to be goal-oriented, but I wasn't wired in a way where I really cared if I reached the goal. I was that classic art school student where I skated by on ambition and communication, not on work. I did not get good grades based on the work because I could barely finish anything because I drove myself insane overthinking. And then I did that up until 2016 is probably like when things really shifted. And then all of a sudden it was like I made art all the time and I was happier. Like when my older child was like a baby, I was working on all these books and I couldn't spend time with her and I was so stressed out and frustrated and I needed this thing to be successful because I was wasting too much time on it. Now, the way that I do stuff, I don't think it detracts from my children's life. I think it adds to it. Like, you know, I'm sure lots of kids have these parents who are artists that are like these intense motherfuckers that need to be in a studio for 14 hours a day and they drink a lot because they're stressed themselves out and they're not around. And it's like, I don't have any of that kind of pathos. And in general, it's because I have no standards and I have no expectations of the things that I'm doing. And I just feel like I'm not governed by rules. Because of that, I have a ton of fun and I move at my own pace and I make things at my own pace. And I tend to judge everything based on what it is, not on what's the expectation. Like I'm gonna go listen to this live in context as soon as it's ready. Like not the YouTube video, but this video. I'm gonna listen to this and see how it went. Then I'll listen to this other video and see how that turned out. I'm gonna course correct on, oof, that hurts my ears, or oof, that's not loud enough, or man, you ruined that song by talking through it. I'm constantly course correcting. I haven't asked anyone what they thought about a goddamn thing in at least 8 years, if not longer. I don't care what anybody thinks about anything. I share work with people because I'm enthusiastic about it, but I do not ask anyone, what do you think? Because what you think, what anyone else thinks is irrelevant. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to course correct on my own. And then sometimes what's going to happen is I'm going to find out a rule, and I'm going to have enough reference experience to be like, oh, that's why that works that way. And that is a explosion of thoughts on the rules. And I hope something in there gets you to the level of production that you want to be at. There's a big thing happening right now. Like the stupid ass New York Times had this article about, no, you don't have to be productive during the coronavirus self-isolation lockdown. Well, first off, you don't have to be productive at any point, at any time, if you don't want to. But the insinuation is that a whole bunch of people realize they have extra time. They want to make stuff, but they can't make stuff. And then they feel bad about it. And a whole bunch of soft nerds are telling them, well, don't feel bad about it. You don't have to make stuff. But here's the thing. Those people want to make stuff. They want to be productive. And the problem is that they're governed by rules that are getting in the way of taking advantage of this time. I think if you're watching this, maybe you don't have a commute anymore. 2 hours of your day just opened up. So you go like, oh, 2 hours of my day opened up. I want to use that. I want to make something. And then you can't make something. You have something to make, but you can't make forward progress. You can't think of what to make. The opening up of time and you not being able to work, it's got nothing to do with you being stressed about coronavirus. If you're constantly thinking, I want to make stuff, and then you're not making stuff, the opening up of time has revealed the holes in your process, period. That's what it's done. Because like, you want to make stuff. Now, if what's actually happening is the space is opened up and you're thinking, well, it seems like everyone else is productive, I should be productive, but then you feel bad about it. That's just as stupid as telling someone who knows deep down that they should be doing some shit right now, and then they're not. Me telling that person that doesn't want to do that stuff, no, you should be productive, that's just as bad. Identify your wiring and then actually work with it. Run the right information through the wiring so that you get the level of productivity that you need to have. So the idea is not, oh, everyone's got 2 hours, go make stuff. The idea is, if you got 2 hours and you feel this drive, but then you're frustrated, don't let yourself off the hook because of some dork at the New York Times. Like, that dude didn't take the day off to write that stupid ass article. Why should you take the day off from the stuff that matters to you? It's weird. It's like you gotta let yourself off the hook. It's just you gotta let yourself off the correct hook. I just think that people are wired certain ways, and where misery comes from is when you try to run your life not with the wiring. I operate like an addict. If I didn't do the stuff I did, I would wreak havoc on my life. I know I would. I know that the way I am, I know that the way my family is, I know the way I relate to addicts. And so everything I do, I operate like an addict. That's not what art school taught me, right? Like art school taught me like, get in the studio, have an idea, refine it for 8 weeks. And like my process is like, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Like that's all, that doesn't work for me. Just abandon as many rules as possible and start going off of feelings. Like what's the feeling? Because the feeling is how the wiring is communicated to you. Joy tells you you're doing the right stuff.